This is my third cup of coffee today. Oh boy, we're awake. So, today I want to talk about Professor Dershowitz. Professor Dershowitz, I want to say, if I'm ever in trouble and go to court, I want you to represent me because you're not just a superior lawyer, you're also extreme salesperson. If you would go into sales for business, you'll make so much money. I mean, you would be able to sell ice to Eskimos. What I'm talking about. This thing about the election, and Dershowitz says that there's no evidence, there's no proof, or there's not enough evidence. It's so funny to me because he's very good, but he also put his blinds on when it suits him, right? You can't blame him because he's not technically wrong. However, I wanna give Professor Dershowitz an example for what he says. Let's say, for sake of argument, a thought process. Let's say somebody accuses you of pedophilia. I'm not saying you ever been in Epstein Lolita Island. I'm not saying that you ever been, but somebody says something, and the court says, I don't know. I learned these new terms, latches, right? It's too late. You already been there. We can't take it to court. How about the court will say there's no standing because that island is not part of whatever U.S. law? And I wonder what would Professor Dershowitz will say. I wonder if he will say, okay, no evidence. I guess I'm a pedophile. That's what he would say. It's so ridiculous. Come on. you know, in poker, one of the things that people do, right? They talk about the no evidence, right? So the strength of somebody's in poker, right, is not just about how they play; is also the evidence that doesn't exist, right? If somebody is not getting into a hand, let's say, you may say with let's say they have pocket aces, and they decide to fold pre-flop. You may say, these people are not very good players. Why would they do that? However, the lack of a play doesn't mean they're not good because it depends on the situation, right? If these people are, let's say, in a survivor tournament and they already have enough chips to be at the top, I don't know, 10%, 80%, whoever win money, right? There's no reason to risk, even if the risk is only 10%, right? So they don't do an action, that doesn't mean they're not good players, right? So for Professor Dershowitz, right? If you, when you say something, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist, right? When you say there's no evidence, it doesn't mean it wasn't false, right? When somebody, and I'm absolutely sure that you are an upstanding citizen and you did not break the law, when somebody accuses you of something, what your blinders just say to me that you're okay when somebody accuses you with horrendous crimes without the courts taking on to it. This is, but I guess it suits you because you like Biden. What can I say, right? Uh, I don't know him. Maybe Biden is gonna be a good president. So far, I'm not really impressed. However, if you says that if you are okay with the courts not taking the cases like Texas versus Pennsylvania, if you're okay with that, right, you should also be okay when the courts are against you. See, here's my problem. In a civilized society, we should dispute our issues in court. We should not punch each other in the nose. And we should not use violence to resolve cases. But when the courts failed, and in that particular case, I think the courts failed because they just didn't take the cases. I think at that point, Professor Dershowitz, uh, we may be in agreement that it's not that there's no evidence, because there's plenty of evidence. There's like 1,000 affidavits. There's all kind of evidence. I think that as a leader in constitutional law, you should be disgusted and disappointed from the courts that did not take the cases and for once and for all determine that we have a legitimate president. When you don't do that, that takes away from your credibility. I mean, I'm listening to you for years, and it's amazing, your knowledge and your wisdom. However, every once in a while, when politics is involved, your blinders come up. So, again, I wish you the best, and as I said, I really, really want you to represent me if I get in trouble. However, when it comes to uh, civilized discussion, when it comes to your political views, you have your blinders on, and you're not wrong. Nobody could ever accuse you of any time being wrong. However, come on, look into my eye, okay, Professor? Well, thank you. I guess that's it for today. So we got our third cup of coffee. Thank you, Professor Dershowitz, for telling us that even the smartest and the wisest people in our society sometimes have a weak spot. And good luck with your next poker tournament or poker session, Professor, because you're probably going to win. Hey, I'm rooting for you. My money is on you. All right, thank you very much. See you next time.